Unleash the power of knowledge and connect with the heartbeat of the African diaspora. Download our African Diaspora News Channel app now on Google Play and Apple App Store. Stay informed with authentic and diverse perspectives, breaking news, and cultural insights. Immerse yourself in a community that celebrates unity, resilience, and progress. Experience the vibrancy of the diaspora at your fingertips. Don't miss out. Empower your perspective today. Search African Diaspora News Channel and join the conversation.
Peace, family. My name is Vicki Dillard for African Diaspora News Channel. Thank you so much for tuning in. I'm so pleased that you're with us today. Be sure to share the broadcast. Family, I want to get right into this. I have been doing quite a bit of coverage on South Africa over the past couple of years. And I certainly have done it on the former foreign minister, the great Dr. Naledi Pandor. I love her so very much, and I often talk about that. Unfortunately, the ANC did not win the overwhelming number of government seats that they needed. Obviously, she was not brought in for this current administration in South Africa, but I love her so much, and her work is enduring. I bring her up now because she was the face, really, and certainly a major driving force for her government to take Israel to court over what they deem to be crimes happening right now in the Middle East. Yes? Well, beloved, let me tell you all something. The implications are high. I often bring her up because the United States of America, when they found out about the actions of not only the ICJ, but the ICC, afterwards issuing arrest warrants for Benjamin Netanyahu, another member of the Israeli government, as well as folks in Hamas. How many of you all know that the United States, high-level congressional folks in the United States sent a letter threatening the ICC? And also they sent that same letter to the great Dr. Naledi Pandor, which is why I'm saying that we need to make sure that our beautiful sister remains protected. Yes? Well, guess what? An IDF soldier had to flee in the middle of the night in Brazil. Talk black to me, somebody. Well, this piece even, believe it or not, from NBC News says Israeli soldiers face risk of arrest abroad over allegations of war crimes after serving in Gaza. Now, just a little bit about this case. It talks about the fact that it's not only Israeli leaders that are concerned about traveling abroad. Now their soldiers who served in Gaza appear to be facing a growing risk of arrest themselves over allegations of war crimes in Israel's assault on the besieged Palestinian enclave, the article says. In the case that sparked outcry in Israel and praise elsewhere, a soldier vacationing in Brazil. Vacationing. And these soldiers feel good about vacationing in the middle of the ICC and the ICJ. Now, you don't need to take Vicki's word for it. You don't need to take the network or other people's word for it. International high courts and institutions of justice have ruled that it's plausible that crimes were committed over there. Yes, but he on vacation. He fled the country after a judge ordered the federal police to pursue an investigation in response to a legal filing accusing the soldier of war crimes. Watch this, family. It says Israel's Foreign Affairs Ministry said in a statement shared with NBC News on Monday that it helped the former soldier leave Brazil on a commercial flight after what it described as anti-Israel elements requested investigation last week. The consular section of the Foreign Ministry and the Israeli embassy in Brazil contacted the Israeli and his family and accompanied him throughout the event until a swift and safe departure from Brazil. So, family, they had the consulate involved. They had the young man's dad involved, because I was looking at other reports about this too. And all this while they on vacation. No, whatever you think about it, the high courts have spoken. Both the ICC and the ICJ. So you probably don't want to be just comfortable vacationing around the world and stuff. I'm tripping because you all can thank South Africa for pushing the issue and bringing a lot of this to the world's attention, and by putting their intellectual and their legal agents and intellectual prowess on the line to hold them accountable. And while many folks will say, well, they don't have a big enough army, they don't have a big enough government, they're not strong enough around the world to be listened to, baby, you never, and I feel chills saying this, you never relinquish on what you can do. If it's your voice, if it's a letter that you can write, if it's a phone call that you can make, or if it's your nation standing on the front line to defend another people, do it. Do it. I remember the great Dr. Naledi Pandor. I was listening to some of her lectures, and one of the things that she was making clear is that how back in the day when South Africa was fighting for their own freedom, how the Palestinian nation didn't have very many resources, but they still helped to train and put whatever few bit of resources they had in their hand. They helped the South Africans do that. So they stand in league with them. Not only that, she talked about some of the soldiers and some of the other things that they're doing throughout the continent. I believe they also have officials on the ground, South African officials on the ground, I believe in the Congo and elsewhere. So it's not that they've abandoned their own people throughout the continent of Africa. They're saying in addition to that, they also stand with them because they stood with them during apartheid, during that fight for apartheid. So that's why you never give up on what you can do, family. And you stand 10 toes down. Yes? Beloved, I talk about how we activate our power and utilize our power in my spiritual courses. I've got a free webinar that I'm doing that gives you a little bit of insight of my monthly teachings in my low-cost school. But this is a free webinar that I'm doing, a special webinar I'm doing January 22nd. Go to my website at VickiPlanet.com. I'm going to be talking about the fact that now in the United States, we experience what they call 2 domestic terrorist attacks recently here. One in Las Vegas and the other one in New Orleans. If you know anything about New Orleans, you know that New Orleans has a lot of spiritual connection there, a lot of things related to what they voodoo and hoodoo and other such ancient Black witchcraft practices. But they're not the only ones that's practicing a form of dark magic. It's also, and their reasons might be different, but their U.S. government is involved in some shady stuff related to that. I'm going to be exposing exactly what that is and what's really behind these so-called ISIS-inspired domestic attacks. Family, it's something going on that I can't talk about online. Be sure to go to my website at VickiPlanet.com. That's VickiPlanet.com, VICKI Planet.com. Of course, share the broadcast. I can't wait to hear what you have to say about